Welcome back, English 1 students. This is Mr. Franklin. Again, if you don't remember me, I'm Mr. Franklin. This is freshman English. Today, I'm going to briefly go over the syllabus, which is what it says here, syllabus video for A-Day students. B-Day students, you will be doing this on the 26th. For A-Day students, as a reminder, tomorrow, if you're watching this the day it is assigned, tomorrow, the 26th of August, is Picture Day. So wear your nicest clothes, or don't. It is entirely up to you. B-Day students, if you're watching this, it's the 26th. And why did you wear that outfit? I'm just kidding. I don't care what you wear during your pictures. That's between you, your parents, and whoever took the pictures. Today, syllabus video. It's not linked. Again, I'm making the video, so it can't be linked yet. But when you are watching this, you'll have already clicked on it. The syllabus is linked right here. I'm going to show you how to access that in just a second. Then you are going to do a discussion board post. I'm going to click on that. That's an assignment. As a reminder to B-Day students who already saw me go over this, and for the A-Day students who have not seen me go over this, this is the assignment where you introduce yourself to the class. All of your classmates will be able to see this. Part of the reason I'm doing that is because our class is split into two, A-Day and B-Day, but it's still one class, and eventually, hopefully, not too long from now, we will all be one class again. And so I wanted you to get an idea of who your classmates are. So follow the instructions for that. There will also be a Syllabus screenshot, which I have already introduced to the B-Day students in a video, and the A-Day students saw that in class. So you know exactly what's expected. Should take you all of 30 seconds. But today I want to go over the syllabus. Not in any great depth. You are all going to read it independently after watching me talk about it. But I do think it's important for you to know how to access the document and what the document means. So click on it. It will make you make a copy that will open up into your Google Drive, which you should have an organization scheme for your Google Drive. I'm not going to tell you what it needs to be, but there should be folders. You should be able to find things in there. That's part of an expectation of a high school student is some level of organization. So click Make a Copy, and it will make a copy that will load into your Google Drive. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. This is the English 1 syllabus. For most of it, it is a pretty boilerplate syllabus, but there's some important policies that we need to go over. This is my contact information. Please email me if you have questions. If you email me after work hours, if you email me after school, I will most likely get back to you the next day. I try and keep up with emails in the evenings, but I have a family, and life gets ahead of me sometimes, and so I do my absolute best to get in touch with you. If it's been more than a day or so, and it's a non-emergency email, it's been more than a day or so, please do remind me. Say, hey, Mr. Franklin, I emailed you. If it's an emergency, I try and get back to those immediately, unless it's like 2 in the morning, and I'm not going to see that, but I get back to those as soon as I can. But if it's a non-emergency email, you will have to sometimes remind me. You can read the course description and course goals on your own. Basically, it's saying you will be a better reader, writer, thinker, and communicator at the end of this class. We're using the Syllabus, formerly Pearson's My Perspectives, grade 9 workbook and online platform. It says that's fine. Supplies, we've already talked about. You must bring a Chromebook with a charger, a notebook, and a writing utensil, preferably a pen or pencil of blue or black ink. Resources, these are things that we have available to us to help get where we need to be. This is how you're going to be graded. And this is the grading scale, which is pretty similar to every class in the building. There are a few classes that don't use this, AP level classes and dual credit, but for us, that's our grading scale. Classroom expectations, we already went over the rules. Here for minor offenses, verbal warning, written warning, phone call home, involvement of administration, that's the progression. Again, if you do something more extreme than, say, have a cell phone out, if you come in and light a book on fire, I'm not going to give you a verbal warning. I'm sending you straight to the office and putting out the fire, but that skips some steps. Passes will be required, especially this year, given everything that's going on. If you're coming from the nurse, if you're going to the nurse, if you're coming from another teacher, I need to know. There needs to be some way of us knowing where you have been. So if you show up without a pass, it's not me being mean. Again, even though I am mean, it's not me being mean when I tell you, no, you need to go get a pass after the bell has rung. It's more so that we can figure out where you have been potentially if anything needs to be checked. The bathroom policy we talked about in class. Electronic devices, I'm going to go over it again just so that there's no confusion, because there should be no cell phones. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Zero cell phones. You should not use them. You should not have them out. It is a very simple rule. It is not a mean rule. It is a rule to help you learn and grow and expand as a human being. Earbuds, headphones also should be put away at all. It says at all times, but there, again, will be some exceptions to that rule. But those exceptions come from me, not from you. You do not get to decide, well, I think I should have headphones out. The answer is no. Computers should be used for classwork only. We're not going to use them a ton. There will be times where you have testing that you need to use a computer, but for the most part, we're not going to use them. Food and drink, with the exception of first hour. First hour can eat breakfast in here. That's for the new school policy. No food, and only containers with a sealable lid are preferred. Academic honesty, don't cheat. Simple as that. I'm going to go over in more detail what that means. Sometimes students make, well, I didn't know I was cheating. I copied and pasted somebody else's answer. We're going to go over it, but basically don't cheat. Attendance. You need to be here unless you can't be here. If you know you're going to miss for some reason, sports, an activity, a planned vacation, whatever that reason may be, it is your responsibility to get in touch with your teachers in advance and find out what you're going to be doing. We're going to be using a workbook. So what we're going to be doing is straight from the workbook. I can tell you the pages we'll be doing, most likely be doing on the days that you're gone, but it's your responsibility. It's not my responsibility to track you down afterwards. Yeah, if you're sick, please stay home. Not just this year, but any year. If you're legitimately sick, stay home. But you get an extra day after, so say you miss 2 classes, you get 2 class periods to make up the work that you missed. And unfortunately, that does sometimes mean you're going to be doing extra work at home. That's unavoidable. Late work. The English department has a late work policy of I assign a solid deadline for something. Say it's due at midnight on Monday, and you turn it in at 2 in the morning Tuesday. It's an automatic 25% off. It's a piece of software that does it for me. And it will stay 25% off unless you give me a legitimate, compelling reason why it shouldn't be. Now, that doesn't mean, oh, I get 25% off, I'm going to turn it in now. Now I'm guaranteed to get 75%. No. Say you turn it in, if you turned it in on time, you got an 80%. I'm going to take 20% off after the 25% because that's what you got wrong. So you at least need to turn in a completed document. Now, it's not 25% per day or per week or anything. So if it's the first assignment of the semester and you turn it in late, you have until the end of that unit, of Unit 1, to turn an assignment in, which gives you a lot of time if it's the first assignment. But here's the thing. I'm trying to set you all up for success. And the way to do that is to help you learn how to maintain a steady workflow. I don't want what happened to me in high school. I consistently left things to the last minute, and I made my life way more difficult than it needed to be. Learn from my mistakes. Now, some of you invariably will make the same mistakes I did. That's the way life works. But try to stay on top of things. And this 25% off policy is one way to help you. It's not to hurt you, but to help you. Learn how to manage your time. Everything we do is classwork. Everything. I almost never assign homework. I don't want to say never, but I almost never assign homework. Discounting, of course, if you're not at school, if you're one of the off-day students. That's work you're doing at home, but it's not homework. That's work you would have been doing in class if you were in class. What I mean is I don't assign work that is in addition to the work that is expected during your class time. So that means if you're not getting work done, you're not doing work in class. And that's a whole other can of worms that we'll need to address if you're struggling in class. Now also, you're all old enough. You're all at the age where you can ask me for help if you're struggling with something. If there's an assignment, you're just not getting it. You're doing your best and you're just not getting it. I expect you to ask me for help. I will do my best to observe that you're struggling, but I can't be everywhere at all times. If you're struggling with something, you need to ask for help. And again, it is up to my discretion if there are extenuating circumstances to dismiss that 25% off. Say you're in the hospital or a relative's in the hospital. I want you to focus on that first and then worry about homework later. But if there are no extenuating circumstances, it's going to stay 25% off. And at the end of a unit, that's that. You don't get extra time. And it's going to be even more stringent when you get to the junior and senior level, where they have an even more strict due date policy. Tutoring will be offered, I believe, before and after school. This is still kind of a fluid tutoring concept right now. I know that the intention is for it to be Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, which is both voluntary and involuntary depending on your circumstances. But I do encourage you to ask for help if you need help. I'm willing to help you, or there will be after school tutoring options. COVID. Unfortunately, we're living in a pandemic, a global pandemic. I will be wearing my mask the entirety of class. That's my promise to you. No matter how socially distanced we are, I will continue to wear my mask. And if you feel that it is good for you to wear your mask, I will 100% support that decision. If you are socially distanced, if you are 6 feet or further from a classmate, you are permitted to take your mask off. If we have small group work, you must have the mask on. That is the school's expectation. That's the district's expectation. That's my expectation. If you're within 6 feet of another person, you should have your mask on. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. And that's because you're going to have classmates and myself. I have immunocompromised family members. You're going to have classmates with immunocompromised family members, with older family members, and we're just trying to look out for each other. And that's basically what wearing a mask is. Whether you agree with it, wearing it or not, it's just a sign of respect that you recognize, I'm looking out for your family. And that's why I'm going to wear a mask. I'm not just wearing it to protect my family. I'm wearing it to protect yours. Again, if you disagree with the efficacy of masks, that's fine, but that is the expectation of the school. So that's what we're going to expect from you. Now that we've gone through all of that, sorry I've been so scoldy again. I promise I'm not normally this scoldy. I expect you to go back and read through the parts we didn't go over together, and there will be a brief quiz on that the next time you're in class. Do the introductory discussion board, take the screenshot, and you're done for the day. You can go work on other work or play Xbox or whatever it is that you're wanting to spend your time on. And I look forward to seeing you all again next class.